guys. So let's see if anyone is tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing a live stream with Rock Hard Grease. So let's see if they're coming. Hello everyone. Welcome. So I'm waiting for Rock Hard Grease to come in and join the live stream. So let's see if they come in. Hello. Guys, this is a live stream that I'm going to be doing together with Rock Hard Grease. So I'm waiting them to enter so we can start the stream and it will be fun. Hope you're well. So hello everyone, welcome. Are you all well? Where are you coming from? I see people from Mexico. Nice. Hello from Spain. Hola, ¿qué tal? Yes. Working on the second album, so exciting. Okay. If everything is working, I have to say I don't do this very often, so if hey, yeah, right there. Hello.
Sonia. Hi, Sonia.
Hey, how are
Great to
you?
see you. Fantastic, fantastic, great. We're melting from the heat wave in Greece.
Here too. Damn, here in
Cool.
Spain it's burning.
Yeah, it's 38 here. Hopefully,
Whoa.
when you come in tomorrow and on Saturday, it will be even hotter. Hopefully, when you come in Athens, September, it will be
A
much
little bit
cooler.
fresher. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're just in June, so I expect August to be worse, right? I mean, here
I
in
think that,
August is horrible.
yeah. So we already have many people in, and from many different countries: Brazil, Austria, Morocco, Germany,
Yeah, this is awesome.
Greece.
Hello,
Greece.
everyone.
Hello, hello all. I must say that everybody can make their own questions. I have some questions that some people have already sent me. Uh,
You
okay,
agree?
now,
Sorry,
okay.
you were gone for a moment.
Yeah. So I already have some questions sent by people that read rock hard, and uh, I have my own questions. But it will be a light talk, not a formal interview, because this is what live chat is about. To speak about
Sure.
some things that do not necessarily have to do with strictly your job. But when you began the live, you said that you are preparing a second album. What can you tell us about this? Let's
Yes,
do
that's
some
correct.
journalistic job. Yeah.
So what I can say right now is that all the lyrics are written. They're all done. I'm halfway through the composition, and it's gonna be a very evil album. So just a continuation to the 666, which was sometimes a little evil, I have to say, like theme-wise. So kind of like using satanic imagery to bring on certain themes. But in this second album, it's going a little bit deeper. So I've been reading quite a lot, and I got very, very inspired, especially in the last tour with Cobra Spell. I got so extremely inspired about the occultism and stuff. So I started reading a lot. And yeah, the album is gonna be kind of going towards that. But I can't tell much about it.
Yeah, and mentioning the image, I had a question about how important is image and style to the band's identity, because we see that you dress, that you have a certain routine and your dress code or stuff like that. How important is it?
For me, I do agree it's super important for a band to have a certain identity, especially with Cobra Spell. From the very beginning, the band has a certain style that we play, very inspired by the 80s. with kind of a modern twist, I would say, like a more heavy metal twist. So the style of Cobra Spell I would define as a glam rock band with a heavy metal power kind of twist. I
That's
don't know how to
yeah,
explain it, but
the
we all
environment.
dress, we all like to dress black, shiny black, heavy metal, Judas Priestish. That's kind of our style.
Yeah, yeah, and your music anyway is that kind of style is 80s metal with some hard rock twists
I
in
would
it,
say it
but
really
it's
depends on the songs because each song has a kind of a different direction, I would say, almost each song. For example, in our latest album, 666, there is songs that are obviously way more heavy metal and so faster with faster drums, faster BPM, heavier guitar riffs, more based in power chords. While there is songs that would go towards the AOR, which is album-oriented rock, which has a lot more melodic, a lot more 80s maybe even. Um, and there is a little bit more groovier hard rock music in that album. So I would say the direction of music with Cobra Spell is really depending on the song. I define as just an 80s heavy rock band, I would say.
hmm Um, was there a specific artist or band that inspired you to start playing music?
Wow, yeah, that's far a long time ago. When I was 14 years old, I was extremely inspired by Gene Simmons from Kiss. Kiss is my favorite band, as you can see. I have the logo right here. I'm, I'm in love with Kiss. I'm a huge fan. And that's the reason why I became a musician myself. I saw Gene Simmons' performances from the 70s on YouTube. I was just, watching all of them I could find. And that's how my obsession kind of started. And I started as a bass player, so I started learning all of the Kiss songs on the bass, and from there I changed towards the guitar playing.
And who was your guitar hero growing up?
Guitar Hero came later on because I started as a bass player, so I had a bass hero. But if I have to say, you're asking early on or right now?
While you were growing up, who was your guitar hero? That inspired you to play
I
guitar?
think
Because you started
Paul
playing bass.
Stanley, Paul Stanley pretty much was a huge influence for me. Um, but yeah, I didn't really start playing at the time, so I was like, oh, I love how he's such a showman he was with a rhythm guitar and stuff, but it wasn't really a solo player. And also, Ace Frehley, Space Ace, which is the guitar player of Kiss, was a huge influence for me. But I didn't grab the guitar at that time. It was when I listened to Marty Freeman from when with his work with Megadeth, when I listened for the first time, and I thought I have to really get serious with guitar because I mean
Yeah,
he's a mind-blowing guitar player.
yeah. Do you remember the first song you ever learned on guitar?
Yes, and it's if it should be the acoustic guitar, but it's a very far long time ago. It's not it has nothing to do with metal music or rock music. It's a church song when when I was going to church as a little child, and I had to learn a little bit of acoustic guitar. I would play with just the open chords. I would say those were my I would say the first real metal song that I learned playing fully from start to end. Um, it's gonna sound kind of funny, but it was an Immortal song. Super, like straight away a black metal song. It was At the Heart of Winter.
Yeah.
So not the easiest track. It has tapping and all things over it. And from I thought like I want to really start with that one. So I took that challenge, and I even have videos of me trying to record that song because I wanted to hear how it sounded like. And sometimes I look back at it and I think, how couldn't you hear it? It was horrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
playing like with three fingers. It's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, but when you do that for the first time, you think that you have conquered the world. That's what
Sorry?
happens always. When you do it for the first time, it feels like you have conquered the world.
Yeah,
It's like
right. I,
me.
I felt,
Yeah,
wow, so many levels to explore as a guitar player when you're starting an instrument. Um, it's it's an open, how do you say, horizon of so many opportunities that you can, so many songs that you can learn, so many styles that you can discover. That's why, as a guitar player myself, I've always liked to play different styles. I'm quite open when it comes to that. I love to try out death metal, try out thrash metal, try out heavy metal, glam. I'm all over the place.
yeah. So we should make people send. You can ask any questions. We will answer every questions. I mean, Sonia will answer the questions. Nobody wants to hear my opinion on things.
We do. We
uh,
want to.
you can you can you can ask. A guy over here says that saxophone was an awesome sound to introduce to.
That's right. We used saxophone actually in one of the 666 songs, which is Love Equals Love. And well, it's kind of a nod to the 80s AOR songs, the movie tracks, those epic movie tracks with the saxophone solo. I love it. I wanted to have it on there. And maybe, who never knows, we're gonna add it on the next album. I haven't seen the opportunity yet, but that would be amazing to do that again.
Yeah. You ask me, that's my favorite track of the 666 album, the Love
Really?
Equals. Yeah, yeah.
So you're into
Uh,
AOR. Nice.
not so much,
No?
but not so much, but I can have some AOR in my life every now and then. I listen to many kinds of music, not because of the nature of my job, but listening to that kind of music for something like 40 plus years, you kind of listen
You get
to
tired of it?
everything. Yeah,
And here I am to bring
you
it
should
back.
listen to everything.
And here
Yeah,
I am to
and
bring it back.
yeah, when I started listening to that kind of music during the 80s, AOR and hard rock music was its heydays. So in
Mhm.
heyday, so uh, even if you want it, even if you didn't want it, you should listen to that. So I've listened to hundreds and thousands of records of that style. So
Yeah.
uh, there's a question that I always have in these Instagram live chats. Do you have a pre-show ritual or routine that you follow?
Honestly, it's been changing
Honestly,
quite a
it's been
lot
changing
in
quite
the
a
last
lot
years.
in the last years.
I would say
I
that
would
I do
say that I
quite
do
a. Oh, I
quite a.
hear my voice
Well, I
like
hear my
twice.
voice like twice. We hear it well. At least I hear it well. So if it's not distracting you, you can go on speaking. We
Okay.
can hear you well.
So my most important warm up would be to play the guitar quite a lot before the show. Like 1 hour before the show, I grab my metronome and I do a lot of routines. Like with my, I would do like chromatic exercises, alternate picking exercises, legato exercises. I do sweeping also, just the right hand also like down picking, alternate picking. Um, I do all kinds of exercises before the concert because I like to have myself warmed up. I'm quite of a anxious, nervous person. Before a show, I get very nervous. Like, so I do need to warm up a lot of the guitar before because otherwise I get like stage fear. Even though I'm
Yeah, yeah,
quite
yeah.
like loose on stage, I get so nervous the 5 minutes before the show. So I need to warm up always, and I do some body exercise like to stretch like this. It's a very important exercise to do like this as a guitar player. Otherwise, you will feel pain in your wrists. If you play at least 1 hour every day in a tour, like for a whole month or 2 months, you will feel it on your wrists if you don't warm up. It's very important to keep your body kind of like fit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a question here saying, Sonia, you like more heavy metal or death metal?
Heavy metal for sure. At this
Mm-hmm.
moment, I'm more into heavy metal. Death metal has a special place in my heart for sure. But right now, I'm listening a lot more heavy metal. I have to be honest. But I've had
Mm-hmm.
my moments where I only listen to death metal, and then I think, damn, this is the best music ever. But then in sunny days, I kind of prefer heavy metal.
Mm-hmm. Do you collect anything? I mean, might be vinyls, might be gear, might be vintage clothing.
Okay, interesting. I've had quite of collections because I really like I bind quite emotional value to things with a history. Um, Especially my warrior guitars, I think would be my most prized collection, like emotionally, but also from the story behind the guitars. Um, at the moment, I think I have like 8 or 9 warrior guitars. So the warrior guitars are like the X-shaped Jackson guitars
Yeah,
that I play on stage. I do collect vinyls too, like strictly vinyl. My boyfriend actually has cassettes and CDs and stuff, but I only like vinyl. I really prefer vinyl. And also, I'm starting with a horror movie collection, which I'm very proud of. I don't have that many, but yeah, I'm really into the cult um cultist 70s, 60s horror movies like Hammer movies and stuff. I'm really into that recently. I even got like a tattoo. Yeah, I'm totally into that recently.
yeah. So then there's another question that I see that how was your experience opening for Europe?
Wow. I have to look for words to explain because that honestly was one of the best experiences that I've had with Cobra Spell. Certainly the one of the biggest shows we have ever played. I think the second biggest show we have ever played, and it was an amazing experience. I've been listening to Europe for many years, so it's kind of what we're opening for Europe. Um, Unbelievable for me. In an island in Italy, and a lot of people. There was a huge audience. I believe it was like 7,000 or something. I'm not sure. It was a lot of big audience. And our show went like this. So we started with during the day. It was still the sun was going down, and then we played the show, and it was all dark. So it was all getting night. So we saw like the sun go down. It was amazing. And besides that, we got to meet Europe, which was also unbelievable. Very nice professional people, obviously. They're very nice. The way they talk to us, and the show was fantastic. I have to say, like for a band that has so many years, they sounded very good, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, what is your go-to snack or food when you're on the road?
Well, ooh, good question. Um, Let me think. I have two options. I have the unhealthy kind or the healthy kind. If I'm aiming for
Let's
a
go for the
unhealthy,
unhealthy. They
yeah,
are more, they
chocolate,
are more fun.
obviously. Chocolate. I really enjoy chocolate, and especially because we have it in our rider, and at every show we expect some chocolate, and
Yeah,
it's
I should check
super
your rider
fun.
too for Rock and Festival to see
Sorry?
if you have chocolates. I have to check your rider for the Rock and
Yeah, yeah,
Festival
we
in
should
this
have
to see.
chocolate there. It's very important. The most important thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
it's funny because in our latest tour, um, fans are bringing us so much chocolate, but every single day, like bags full of chocolate, like bars of chocolate with different kinds, different countries. I love it. I can't complain. Like even huge chocolate rabbits because it was Easter. So there's always a reason.
You can always find an excuse to eat chocolate.
Yeah.
So there's another question here, Sonia. If you had to choose three vinyls and lose the rest, which
Okay.
ones would that be?
Wow,
I wouldn't, I
you're
wouldn't, I
making it
wouldn't like to
you're
do it
making
the
it
rest of my
hard.
life.
Yeah, I don't like to that question, but I will answer it anyway because I love music so much. I don't want to make a choice, but for sure it would be Kiss' first album. Like that's the reason why I became a musician is in there, is in that album. So for me, that's a go-to album that I can never get tired of. Um, and then as a second choice, I might be going for Under Lock and Key by
Okay.
Dokken. Yeah. Third choice is gonna be extremely hard. Extremely. I think Hysteria by Def Leppard. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very known albums, I know, but they're classics. Every single song I can get tired of. It's like a different experience every single song, and I love that about an album. I don't like it when an album is from start to finish all the same. You know, every single song is like kind of the same. To me, that's get kind of boring. Or you have albums where it's like three tracks that really, really amaze you, but then the rest are fillers. With these albums, they're classics. They're very known for a reason. They're great.
That's why
Very
they're
organic.
classics.
Yeah,
That's why they're
totally.
classics.
Yeah,
That's why they're classics. If they had some fillers, they wouldn't be classics.
exactly.
So a friend over here asks, what is your favorite song to play live?
To play live. I think it's a fun one. I really like the faster songs. And from our set list, The Devil Inside of Me would be for me the funnest to play. It's the first one we play at the show at this moment. And Addicted to the Night too. Like the opener and the one we close the show.
Yeah.
I think they're
Hmm.
my favorite ones.
And a friend over here says 666 is a classic through and through. No fillers. Okay, we get it.
Thank you.
He's a big fan. Um, so I will. There's a question about how. What was the experience in Krypta, bad or good? I will
Good.
ask you. It was good. I will make the question a bit different.
Hmm.
How did your time in Burning Witches and Krypta shape you as an artist and as a person?
Okay, so I think for me, I learned a lot from the bands that I've been in. So I can only be thankful to be part of the experiences that I've got with Burning Witches and even also with Crypta. Like I've been more years in Burning Witches, like 3 years, I believe. And
Hmm.
in Crypta, I have been 2 years, like 1 year before the band was announced, and 1 year after the band was announced, which is quite significant to me too. And yeah, it's super, it has a lot of emotional value for me. The band hold a special place in my heart. I have to say that my experience with Witches wasn't that good. Sorry.
Yeah.
But with Crypta was amazing. Like I wish them all the best. They are super professional, hardworking girls. I think they are looking for a new guitar player, and they're definitely gonna find like an amazing guitarist. And yeah, I can only say the best. Like being able to have written an album with Crypta and seeing that it's spreading around the world and the girls are doing so well, um, yeah, I'm proud of it. It's nice.
Hmm.
I can say that I'm part of their history, and though I prefer to play with Cockspell. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's your band now. When is another tour in Spain? There's
In
another one.
Spain, well, we have a show coming actually, just in a month or something like that. Um, I don't have anything to look at my dates, but we're playing in Burrock, which
Mhm.
is, I believe, near Alicante, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be in less than a month, I believe. So we will be playing in
Hmm.
Spain soon. And we're working on a lot of more tour dates. I don't think it's gonna be this year. Not sure. Maybe it is, but I think it's gonna be next year. Yeah, because we have toured Spain quite a lot this last months.
Yeah. And about the US tour, as our friend David Riley says,
Oh,
asks,
I would love it, but we have to wait for a second album first. So
yeah.
it's not gonna
Hmm.
happen this year because I'm composing, I'm writing music right now. But I'm hoping that we can make it possible for the next year. So our United States people have to support us a lot in this one on the next album, and who knows?
Yeah, so that you can be able to tour there. So you are coming to Greece though for the first time as a band, as
Yes,
Cobra Spell. Have you ever been to Greece before?
to Greece. We have never played in Greece before. I actually never traveled to Greece before. It's gonna be my first time in the country. So
Uh-huh.
that's gonna be an awesome debut. Playing in such an awesome festival with such great bands. I mean, Candlemass, super cool. Very excited.
Yeah, yeah. That was it was our goal to have Cobra Spell for sure to play in our festival, and we have been very happy to see you that to see that you when you confirmed our show your show over here. What should we expect? What should the Greek fans expect from the Rocker Festival show?
A
Uh,
high, yeah, they can expect a high energy show, like a lot of high energy. We are super, we move around a lot on stage. Um, Loudness, and fun, a lot of fun. Like our show is meant to be fun, and it's meant that everyone on stage interacts with us. So it's gonna be fun and
yeah,
energy. So eat
yeah,
well that day, drink well that day, get
yeah. It will
ready.
be 6 hours of fun every day
Oh
on
yeah.
Friday the 12th and
Come on to the show, to the fest.
Saturday the 13th. The Amaranth Italia says, rate the Italian fans.
Italian fans, amazing, very passionate, very nice. I love it. I want to go
And
back.
and, uh, and the question is, which country or city surprised you the most in terms of fan reaction?
From all the history of the
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
that I
yeah.
played.
From everywhere you have played, yeah.
Ooh, I think
Ooh,
Brazil.
I think Brazil.
That was
Mhm.
insane.
That was insane.
Especially the festival we played in Araraquara, which is a festival in Sao Paulo. It's called Araraquara Festival, Rock Festival or something like that. It was amazing. It was amazing. We played there in a festival which was mainly extreme metal bands, like a little more extreme than what we play, because what we play is more closer to hard rock or heavy metal. So it's maybe lower pace, our riffs are different, our singing is clean. So I was expecting, okay, and we had like a very nice time spot, like playing at the afternoon at 10 o'clock or something. So people are there to see something.
Mhm.
And I expected the crowd to be a little more calm, because we had like Troops of Doom playing before us, I believe, which is like
Mhm.
members of Sepultura. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they turned up the level, and we go there
Yeah.
and gonna play a glam rock heavy metal show. And you won't believe it, the audience was insane. There was crowd surfing, there was mosh pitting, there was all kinds of things going on. And after the show, everyone at the merchandise was so incredible. There were people so young, also like 16-year-olds, saying that they love Cobra Spell. And for me, that has no words. It's super meaningful to me to see that in the other side of the world, in a festival that is so extreme, people can enjoy hard rock in this way. And that leave me with a big impression. And I'm so excited to go back there too.
Um, a question, how can I get, not me, how can I get a custom Jackson reverse headstock guitar? You shred the hell out of those and rule. The
Thank you so
Scorpion
much.
Joe from the Philippines.
Thank you. Um, well, I got mine thankfully from the Jackson. Like, I'm endorsed by Jackson, so they gave me these guitars, the red ones that I have, and all the other ones that I have were gifts from the fans. So I never really ordered one through the custom shop. So Jackson custom shop guitar should be ordered through the Jackson's custom shop in the United States. That's how it works. There's quite a long waiting list of believe 2 years or 3 years, but it's totally worth it. You get a beautiful guitar that will last for years, and it's a difference from the ones that you can get in store, in my opinion. Like it's a different in quality, and yeah, I totally recommend. Or maybe I really recommend getting one secondhand because there's a lot of them in Reverb, for example, that you can get a very perfect custom shop Jackson. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a Warrior, but
Yeah. How
definitely.
did you first get endorsed by Jackson? He asks.
I got endorsed back in the days when I was in Burning Witches. So I was already playing with a Warrior guitar, and from there, that's kind of I was playing
Yeah.
a lot of shows in Germany and stuff, and that's how it went.
Mm-hmm. It says the show was in Sardinia. It says great show in Sardinia, the show in Italy that
Thank
you
you.
mentioned. Mentioning about fun gifts, what's the coolest fun gift or letter of or anything you have ever received?
Definitely the 666 Jackson Warrior from Hell, which is a guitar. I would love to show it to you right now, but I don't have it in hands. I have my guitars like some are stored right now because I'm moving, but it's a custom shop Jackson guitar. There's I believe nine out of them in the whole world, and it has it's black body with red blood um, flowing through the body, like it's blood,
Hmm.
like that, and it has the head up just the way I like it, and 6 strings, Floyd Rose system original, the EMGs that I always use, which is our 81 and 85, and yeah, an amazing guitar. I recorded 666 with it mainly, and yeah, right now I have to fix it a little bit because the people that might know me know that I abuse my Floyd Rose quite a lot, and yeah, and I broke the piece that connects the Floyd Rose to the bridge
For the guitar. Yeah.
and of that guitar. And let me tell you, that's like a real original Floyd Rose. So breaking that is not that easy, and I have
Yeah.
to find a replacement. Yeah,
Hmm. Uh, would you play guitar for a band that consists of men only?
sure. Even though I have to say that I'm staying in Cobra spell, so I'm not
Yeah.
planning of starting
Imagine if
a.
Dave Mustaine came you and say you will be the next Marty Friedman. Would you go there?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. You know,
You
I
mentioned Marty Friedman in the beginning, so taking the place of Marty Friedman.
I think it's such a big position to take. This is nobody will ever understand my answer because I really love my career as a creative musician. So I love writing music. I don't like to be a hired gun.
Yeah. Okay. What
So
is
maybe I
your
would say yes, but most probably I will say no because I have my own life and I like to create. I like to create music instead of just doing what is told to me. Like I don't want Dave
Yeah.
Mustaine to tell me play it exactly like this.
Yeah. Okay.
All my
Uh,
respects.
here, people want the big spoiler, the release date of the new album, but I don't think you have the release date from the time that you have no songs ready. But
We
do
have
you have a
songs
release
ready.
date from the? Do you have a release date
Yes,
from the label?
not
Has
yet,
Napalm Records? Not yet.
not yet.
Okay.
We've sent the songs to the label and we're waiting for a release date now. So it's like
Yeah.
just like right now we're waiting on a release date. It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
next year.
Next year for sure. Yeah. They need some time before that. They need a few months before the after the completion of the album to make
Exactly.
things ready. To create the
Hmm.
vinyls and everything.
We're already
What
moving
is
the studio and everything, so studio's gonna happen in October. So things are rolling.
Mhm. What's your guilty pleasure, music wise?
My guilty pleasure music wise. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think all music is free to listen to. Um, I would say what would be considered a guilty pleasure. I like a lot of the synth-oriented pop music nowadays. There's a lot of pop music out there. There's very 80s oriented synthesizers, like The Weeknd. Completely, fully guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people gonna say, "What the hell?" But
Yeah, but
I
that's
like
what
it,
guilty pleasure is all about.
right? And I have a lot of guilty pleasures. I listen to a lot of different styles of music, so without limits.
Yeah. So it says keep on making your own music because Cobra Spell have a unique sound. As soon as you hear the riffs, you know it's Cobra Spell. And
Thank,
your Dark Knight of the Soul solo difficulty level, that's one of my favorite solos of all time. So awesome, says Scorpion Joe.
thank you.
That's,
What is the question though?
what is the difficulty level of your Dark Knight of the Soul solo?
Oh, I wouldn't know how I can define that. To me, it's not that difficult, I would say anymore, because it's something that
Mhm.
I composed. So whatever I play, I consider it's all right. Sometimes it was very hard though when I composed it because usually I compose things slower than I can play them, and I try to force myself to learn it like in the speed for the studio. And yeah, that one was definitely a hard one. I have to kind of remember how it went, but I can remember it's the outro solo. It's quite a long one. Um, I would say if I have to say from 1 to 10, I would say a 7,
Yeah.
6.
Um, the next question is Electric Wizard or Candlemas, but pay attention to what you say.
And
What you say.
I have an electric wizard tattoo right here. I don't know if you can
Aha.
see it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We said yeah.
So I'm choosing for electric wizard. I mean Candlemas, obviously. Doom, precious treasure. I don't know how to define that. They are like legendary in that style. Um, but I really like Electric Wizard. I listen to a lot of Electric
Mm-hmm.
Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And a big
Uh,
influence on album number 2, which is weird,
mm-hmm.
but it is.
Yeah. Um, have you ever been starstruck meeting another musician? Meeting
Gene
another musician.
Simmons.
Jen
When I met Gene
Simmons.
Simmons, yeah. In Sweden Rock, 2018, I think it was, or 2019, I don't remember any of those years. And it was backstage, and I run into him, and I got all emotional. He's my hero. It's the reason why I became a musician. So yeah, he was. It was short meeting him, like super brief, and I took a picture and everything. And yeah, it was amazing. I could not believe that this man is real. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
much.
There's a question. What song would be your theme if you walked into a wrestling ring?
Whoa. Good question. I think Wasps. I wanna be somebody. Yeah. Wanna be somebody. Yeah. I think that's my
um,
go-to motivation song. Like that song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What is the weirdest thing that has ever happened while you were on tour?
Whoa. Um. Well, our tour van. The weirdest thing was leaking pee on the latest tour. Absolutely horrible and disgusting and very inappropriate, but it was happening on the last show of the tour. Our van was like, well, the cheapest van that you can get on tour,
Yeah.
and great. I mean, I'm happy with it because touring is fun. But that van had some technical issues, and the last show was in a super fancy Dutch venue, which is called Tivoli Vredenburg in Utrecht. Very nice. You even can park the nightliners and everything inside in the parking of the venue itself, which is wow, crazy. And
Yeah.
well, we had the bigger nightliners on the right side, the bands that we were touring with, and you had our camper kind of van,
Yeah.
and we had a toilet in there. But sometimes I don't know what happens, and well, at that moment, there was pee coming out of our van, and it was there inside of that location, and it was kind of smelling, and we're like, oh well, that shouldn't be happening, and we had to say goodbye to the band because it was the last day of the tour.
Yeah.
I would say that that's kind of a funny
Yeah.
situation.
Yes. That's weird. Yeah. Um, is there a festival or a venue that's still on your bucket list?
Wow, a lot, really. Well, besides going to play in Rock Hard Greece, which we're gonna check it out. So I would really like to play with Cobra Spell because there's many festivals that I played before, but I want to do with Cobra Spell Wacken. Would really like to do it. Sweden Rock. Would love to do it. We're actually playing upcoming weekend in Time to Rock,
In
which
Time to
is
Rock,
also
so I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there in a few days.
nice,
I'll be in
nice,
Time to Rock too. Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would love to play in Sweden Rock. It's where I met Gene Simmons, so that experience on its all was like so. I was so Star Trek. I want to experience that festival again because it's a milestone, a huge milestone to play there. Um, and the vibe of that festival is great.
Mhm.
Besides that, Monsters of Rock in the United States, I would say I would love to play Graspop in Belgium. Now the list goes on. There's so many festivals I would
Yeah.
love to play with
Big
Cobra
festivals.
Spell.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's many big and many big festivals all over Europe. Uh, Back in the days, in the 80s and the 90s, there were just a few of them. But
Hmm.
luckily enough, for the bands and the fans, there's a variety of choices that you can have, as either as a fan or as an artist to play. Many opportunities because there are many artists, many fans. What are your other hobbies outside Cobra Spell?
I have a lot of hobbies. I do a lot of things. Um, I would say my hobbies would be, well, besides guitar playing, I create music, so I'm a musician. I like to sport a lot. Um, I'm a adult content creator, which is completely something else. What else do I do? I like to make up myself. I like that a lot. Drawing. I like horror movies. Watching horror movies. All kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Um, Here are some people suggesting festivals like Alcatraz festival in Belgium. Rock in Rio would be cool. Yes,
Yeah, I would love
for
to play
sure.
Rock in Rio. I want to go back to Brazil right now, or Summer Breeze from
Bring me
Brazil.
Brazil now. Bring me Brazil now.
Right now.
Were you inspired by Jimi Hendrix?
Oh, I certainly. I have to say, in the beginning, I didn't really listen to Jimi Hendrix, but I have to say that these days, I've been going back to Jimi Hendrix and appreciating it a lot more than I used to. Now, sometimes there is huge influential artists that you don't really listen until way later. And that case for me is
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. I'm starting to appreciate Jimi Hendrix. And the same goes with Deep Purple. I've been listening to a lot of Deep Purple lately. Or Rainbow. Like all this more going into the 70s music.
Yeah. You mentioned before the adult content creation. Do you face any kind of backlash because of this thing that you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not easy because in the metal world, people are not that open-minded when it comes to women expressing themselves comfortably in their body. So I'm comfortable with my own body, and I express my freedom, my sexual freedom out there, and because I want to, I feel okay with it. Um, and this is something that in the metal and the music world is seen as um, kind of bad, like you're not a real metalhead anymore, or like I stopped being a musician or anything, which is not true. it's kind of a lot of people have how to say it, pre pre-justified opinions.
Preconceived ideas about this. You mean?
Exactly, about what I do, about who I
Yeah.
am, and about how I am personality wise. And that's kind of sad because I wish these people could know who I really am. Like, ask me like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's something that I enjoy doing besides music. I do both things.
I
So,
think that it's a matter of sentence. You know, many more men listening to heavy metal music that just can't accept a woman doing their own thing the way she wants. Think that
exactly. And the thing is though, it's not everyone like this. I would say just a few people are
yeah,
like,
okay.
but the few,
And
it's like the
you
same
shouldn't
every single. Sorry?
you shouldn't paying attention to this kind of people uh, because it
You're
doesn't
right.
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's like in social media. If you read what people write on social media,
Mhm.
then uh, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I
In
kind of
fact, how
stopped reading the
does
negative
social
things. Like,
media? Yeah, you just can't help. You can do that. Does social media
I
influence you, affect the way you write music, affect the way you do things? Do you read comments on social media?
oh, absolutely not anymore, really. Maybe I used to before, but right now, I'm comfortable with myself, very much so, in being who I am and creating what I want. So I'm not really influenced about what is really expected for me to create or to be. If I would be doing what people want me to be, maybe I would be a completely different person.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't let myself influence in that. The same goes with the sound of the music that I create. In the second album, it's not gonna be exactly what I released in Love Venom, for example, or Anthems of the Night, which are way more classic inspired 80s heavy metal. While 666 was getting a little different touch, especially with Christina's vocals on it. And this album is gonna, for me, a step up. It's gonna sound a little different, but it's gonna be still Cobra Spell. And with the current influences that I have, which are evaluating, I'm not gonna make the same what I did before because I don't wanna stay in the same place and just create the same every time. I'm not into that.
Hmm. What is your favorite old school horror movie?
Ooh, um, that's a hard question, but I think a very classical Clockwork Orange is certainly one of my favorite
Hmm.
ones, and The Shining, like very known ones, but those
Yeah,
would be like my, yeah.
the classic that we mentioned with the albums. You mentioned Hysteria. It's like, the Clockwork
Yeah, I'm a,
Orange
I'm
of
a
the
classic
Shining.
girl. Like I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
listened to a lot of things and seen a lot of things, but you can recognize like quality in some
Hmm.
points. Yeah.
How do you feel about theory in guitar playing,
Well, very
guys?
important. In my opinion, is very important. There is some years in my life that I spent learning a lot about theory, especially when I was giving guitar lessons. Um, and yeah, I think it's super important because it gives a reason if you're a guitar player that hears music very easily, like can recognize, has a sense of melody. It's very good to have a theory knowledge because you can give it a definition of that what you understand instinctively, and it helps you create something new. So you can create something new by just like singing it, maybe like just na 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 na, like just like that. But you maybe don't know what is the scale behind that and how can you make it longer, or maybe you can create a certain sequence with it, and that's where theory becomes extremely interesting. And the same goes for the chords that you can put behind certain sequences. And well, theory is just incredible. It gives a reason about a lot of things, and it gives you a lot of more ways to play certain things.
Hmm. Now that's quite a cool question. What is your favorite guitar pick?
Guitar pick, I'm very simple when it comes to guitar picks. just the 1 millimeter, the most normal pick there is. Like, I don't have one right here, but very common, the bigger one, not the jazz pick, just the bigger 1 millimeter flat pick without any kind of rounding. No, no bullshit, just a normal pick. Yeah.
Yeah. How exciting is it to launch an EP in Japan?
To what?
To launch an EP in Japan.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I was already impressed that Cobra Spell does quite well in Japan, which is something that well, I didn't expect when I started Cobra Spell that people would like Cobra Spell. We released 666 over there. Our EPs before the album were sold like many times in wholesale price. You know, you sell them to record stores over there, which for me was interesting. Like I was sending them from home, you know, as my project at home, and sending vinyls to Japan was like, wow, this is real. And now we are releasing it with Marquee Avalon, which is awesome. And yeah, the new EP, Anthems of the Venomous Hearts, which is a collection of songs from our two first EPs, sung by our singer Christina. And additionally, we have a extra bonus track, which is Flaming Heart, sung in Japanese. And
Japanese, yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Christina singing in Japanese is really cool to listen to, is something epic. And yeah, totally, you must listen to it.
Yeah. There are many messages like the one that I'm going to read. Says, having met you all in Manchester and London, you guys are so friendly and down to earth. You show your fans that they mean a lot to you, and they aren't fakers. Haters gonna hate, just ignore them.
I agree. Thank you.
That's it.
I want
So,
to go back.
yeah, um, I will not make you much more tired. I'll make a last question because we're reaching an hour together. It's
Mhm.
time flew very
Yeah,
easily.
really.
It was a really, you know, a live chat is always something different than a normal interview. You know, with
Hmm.
all the questions that you have to
Right.
make about the albums, the
It's
career.
more
So
interactive.
it's yeah, it's more interactive and more fun, more intriguing about the
Hmm.
fans, the real fans, the actual fans of the band. So I have another question, just a simple one. And so do you bring something sentimental or lucky with you on tour?
I would say my tattoos. It
You
sounds
carry
weird,
them.
but I used to have amulets, like
Yeah,
amulets. I don't know if that's the
yeah,
right English
yeah,
word,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
on stage I would always wear a ankh, which is the eternal life symbol. Always since the beginning of my musical career, I would always wear this. I have it tattooed, so I don't
hmm
need to take it with me anymore because I lose it and I have to buy it again, and it breaks and I have to buy it again. So I just tattooed it. The same goes for the Aura's eyes. For me, a sign of protection. It's something that used to be a ritual, and every time before the show, drawing it on my hands, 15 minutes before, bam, 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 bam. And now I have them tattooed, and I always have them with me. I would say that that's like a lucky charm.
yeah, yeah.
If I
Good
have it,
lucky
I'm
charm.
protected. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, Sonia, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for taking time to answer to all these questions of your fans, of everything, all the people. Thank you, thanks to all the people that kept company throughout this hour. Um, and we are going to meet in a few days in Sweden, and of course, on the 12th of September, that you are coming to Greece for Rock Art Festival Greece. It's a day with Hammerfall. We should say it's Hammerfall, Overkill, Innowish, Cobra Spell, and Ganzigan. I'm going in Ganzigan. I don't have a Cobra Spell
Nice. Awesome.
t-shirt. I'm going to buy one in time to rock so that I am fully armed.
Prepared.
Uh,
Awesome.
And the next day is Candlemas. It's Gas G and Friends. It's Heaven's Gate. It's the Crypt and Battle Road. It's going to be fun. Thank you all for your time. And the next thing we hope to be on your next album, which hopefully should be out pretty soon.
It will.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Thanks to
much,
everyone
Sonia.
that is
Thank you.
watching the live stream and to you for having me.
Of course, of course. Thank you all, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.